Yeah.
Daisy, sit down.
Can that please be in?
Well, welcome back to our episode 2 of Beers and Banter, although we made a change, Bubbles and Banter today, and we've ditched Tom for better quality content with Amber coming on board. I mentioned Josh Launders again from the Railway Hotel, who has...
He's come up with the goods.
Yeah,
straight to the top shelf.
Yeah, it is very nice, very nice.
And
thanks, Josh.
20% off all wine at the Railway Bottle Shop
this week.
There's your plug, Josh.
Looking forward to our next six-pack. He's going to have to step up a little bit for us. So, Jacinta, Mannion, thank you very much for joining us on our big second episode. The first question we ask everyone is where you're sort of brought up and background and what was it like?
Yeah, sure. So born, raised, schooled in Tenterfield.
Yep.
Tenterfield Saddler Country. And about age of 19 I left there for a job in Moree. And I met, I think I had 4 years out at Moree, and that's where I met Jason at the ripe old age of 19. So I worked out there in a motel and managed that. Went into an assistant manager's role quite early, and we had a restaurant. And met
what sort of restaurant?
Pretty cool. So it used to be called the Sundowner Artesian. Yeah. And gosh, that's bad. I can't remember what the restaurant was called now.
What sort of food?
Lasting impression.
Yeah. Just a la carte. So we got a couple of awards, and we really built the business up, and lots of weddings, and it was a place to be in Moree. So we obviously met, and then we moved to Inverell for a short period. We bought a house, and we were going to settle there and things like that. I got a job with Super Cheap Auto.
Yeah, nice.
So I used to manage Super Cheap Autos. I must like cars and stuff.
Yeah, there's a common theme here.
Yeah, definitely.
The next question I'll ask was what brought you to Gunnedah, I suppose, from all that.
So from there, Gunnedah, the dogs going mad.
Yeah. Dogs go feature in our podcast.
What brought us to Gunnedah? Jason was down here working a lot, all the time, pretty much coming home Friday night, back out Monday morning. It'd be a better option for obviously me to move down here, and we'd also started the whole idea of Ultrafleet, so that's where it was probably that pivotal moment. I'd done all the research and the business plan and everything for Ultrafleet, and the accountant sat us down. She said, well, when are you moving to Gunnedah? And I probably hadn't even thought about that part of it until she actually made that point, and I went, oh, I guess so. So I think we packed up within 6 weeks, and we were sort of...
Yeah.
So what gave you the initial idea for Ultrafleet?
It was, obviously I did Jason's invoicings and things like that, so, I'm plugging away, putting invoices in, and there's obviously days that, we've lost production or things like that. And I'd often say to Jason, or he'd ring me and say, I can't do anything today because my ute's getting serviced. Yeah. And I'd say, why can't we get another hire vehicle from, and he's like, well, they're all in Tamworth, and it was a big... for a one day hire, it wasn't worth someone from Tamworth coming across. Yeah.
So when you started, did you have an idea of scale in mind, or has it just taken off and you've literally just been running with it?
I'm a big dreamer, so I sort of went, wow. Imagine one day, there was competitors when I first started out there called Sergeant and Core Fleet. And you see those in town, and you'd be envious, like, one day there's going to be me, my ute's getting around. And it's funny, I go for a walk now, and it's exactly the same thing of a morning, or, uptown, or even sometimes travelling to the coast, you pass an Ultrafleet ute, and you're like, who's that? Yeah, I wonder who's hired that. And I used to know all my clients, like, when I had 10 vehicles, I could go, oh, that's so-and-so, and wave to them all, and they knew exactly who I was. But now it's just like, you wave, and they're probably wondering, why on earth are you waving?
Some
random lady walking the golf course is waving at me. But it's just that feeling of, like, it's an accomplishment, and it's like, it's sort of a wave.
How have you gone? You've raised 3 kids through...
Well... It is trying to balance it. I do feel like from the, when those twins hit the ground, like I had 3 kids in 15 months, so it was crazy, and Jason away all the time. That was probably a good, multitasking moment, and I probably was good at it before that, but I just never realised. So, Jason and I made a really early promise to each other that we'd do stuff with our kids, attend the sports carnivals, probably before the kids are even born, regardless of my situation. If I was up at 4 o'clock to get something else in for the kids, I'd do it.
So what advice would you give a 20-year-old Jacinta?
That is a good question. I've actually been in the car a few times today actually thinking about this. But I think it's probably go with your gut instincts. We probably doubt ourselves when we're 20 and we don't have that confidence, and we're worried about what people think about us.
Yeah, that's a big one.
That's a big one. So I think the more you just go with it, rather than try to either fight it or, that type of thing. So
turning 40, I think, really helps with that.
It
not
does.
caring what people think.
Yes, it definitely does.
I'm 35. I'm pretty good at it at the moment. But,
From a woman's perspective, it's different though. I think 40 age, it is a very
I've got a 40-year-old head though, so that probably maybe helps. Netflix podcast recommend. You're too busy. I'm guessing you don't have a lot of time to watch these things. Podcasts?
I just did mention this to Amber that I am really busy. I do enjoy sitting down watching a good series. I generally binge trash it like for the whole weekend. But I don't mind Yellowstone, and I did really like Nashville, but I really like those ones that you don't have to think too much, that if you fall asleep you can wake up and pick up where you sort of left off and didn't miss it.
And lastly, something we were just saying, if anyone wants to ask us any questions just to finish things up, nothing
She's
too hard.
She's had some thinking time about
this,
we can,
and as we said to Penny, we will edit it if it's, we don't
It's
want
bad.
to answer.
I actually probably had 2 questions actually.
Well, no, we say one. No.
I'm tossed between the two. I guess a question for me is with you guys, obviously, husband, wife working, I know what Jason and I like, and then obviously brother and sister. How do you guys... I
think Luke and I are pretty similar in lots of ways in terms of how we think, so I don't think there's going to be sort of huge issues with, deciding on marketing schemes or marketing packages and what things will look like. And the other thing is we are probably the most upfront family I know. Like it's
it was a main concern, I think, going into it. But we just sort of weighed it all up and thought, well, we don't want to regret not doing it. And I think probably the one thing we discussed was just talk about things early. Don't let them fester and become bigger issues. But
what would be something really vital in starting a new aspect of the business that you really seek help from someone or a service or?
Oh, good question. I guess in setting up, Luke's done a lot of research into getting the best possible software programs, marketing, all that sort of stuff. We sort of want to be one of our main points of difference, just that we provide just an absolute.
I think, and it's like any industry. I think that's going to be ever changing too, like technology. But it's been a bit exhausting. But we have sort of, as Amber said, gone through and looked at multiple different options for different platforms, and we're still working on a few at the moment. But not probably sparing any expense with things.
Investing.
Investing and outsourcing. Find someone who's better at it than you.
Definitely.
It's such a
definitely.
And Sean from Biz by Design, who we both work with,
that was an excellent recommendation from you, and our lives, I feel like we're going in a better direction with our business just from the coaching from Sean too.
Great.
Rightio. Well, we might wrap it up there. Thank you again, Jacinta.
Jacinta.
And I did take a few sneaky pics inside, so we might drop those in at some stage so people can have a sneak peek. Hello, dog. At your beautiful renovation here in the view.
Amazing.
Very envious. It's magnificent what you and Jason have achieved here. It's fantastic.
And you deserve it.
Thanks.
Well deserved.
Absolutely.
It's lovely, and
I'm taking your dog home too.
Oh, sometimes you can take her actually if you see what she chews. But anyway.
All good.
Yeah. Excellent.
Rightio.
Thank you guys.
All good. Cheers.
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 Cheers.